Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again. Sorry I haven't been active recently in the last few weeks. We've had a busy few weeks. My son got married 2 weeks ago, and then we were up in Scotland for a few days, so obviously no bench time, but things are slowly getting back to normal now. I do have to look after my grandson in the mornings at the moment, so I don't get to the bench till late afternoon, mid-afternoon, so it's cut down a little bit, but I do work on a bit longer than I used to. So where we are on this build is the Tiger build, with the working from the photograph that I showed you. I've started working on the truck, which you see in our last video, but what I've done so far, I've got the truck to the same point as I've got the Tiger now. So we'll go through the truck first. Okay, so I've got the wheels done, well, painted I should say. They're just painted. Made my own tyre black using German grey, ghost grey, and I can't remember the colour now. They're all just primer colours and a bit of German green brown, and I seem to come up with a nice colour. Just a little touch of that, not a lot. But, they're all these primers, so I use all these primers. That's the ghost grey one and the German grey one, all Vallejo. And I seem to have I'm quite happy with the colour of the tyre. It's not bad at all. Looks a bit white on there and too grey, but I can assure you it isn't as grey as that. Obviously these need to be weathered as well, so but yeah, I'm quite happy with those. So they're all done. What else have we got done on the truck? I started, we've seen all the storage. I've got the storage primed. Some of the jerry cans, all there primed. I've done no weathering on those yet at all, which I'll be starting to do today, I think. I've got a couple of unboxings I'd like to do as well after this, so we'll see how we get on for time today. So they're from the, like I said, the Gecko set. I've got these primed as well. The oil drums, and these are the ones that's got PE on the jerry cans. They go on the side of the truck, so they've got, that's why they're on there. They've got PE on them, and I've got a little bit more storage. So I haven't painted yet because it only came this morning, so I've got to paint those again today. This is part of all for the truck as well. That's the plastic ones. I may still use those yet, I'm not 100% sure. We've got the duffel bags, they're on it. We've got these rifles in slings which go inside the cab. They're about finished. I've added straps to those. We've got the Pioneer tools. We've got a shovel and a pick and an axe. The 2 helmets for the guys. The grill for the front of the truck, including the headlight guards. And that goes underneath where the tow winch goes as well. So they've all said most of the rucksacks, rifles and tools, they're all finished. They're actually finished. I've done those, they're completed. So and we'll go some more storage, which I've got here as well. Some of this you've seen, but I've actually painted them since. I got these, I can't remember where I got them from, but I'm going to stick all these in. Engine blocks and that, these are weathered. There's a bit of dust on them yet, but I'm going to stick these in the back as storage as well. Different colours, washes and things like that, greys and darks and oil washes and all that kind of stuff. Just to, you know, I've got a slight rust tone on the top where it's come into the fresh air. So that's one of the and I've got a transmission again. Do the same sort of thing with that. Just going to throw them, just add a bit of interest in the storage. So I don't know what this is off. I haven't got a clue. Probably another truck, more than likely. It's too small for well, not wide enough, I should say. But yeah, so they're okay. They're done. There's a couple of these to go on as well, top of the cylinder heads and things like that, just spare bits. I put them on loosely as well. they're going to go on. We also have two boxes which I've painted up. It's need that dusting up a little bit, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. These are resin ones, these. So there's those. And same as that one as well. I may spray this green with hairspray and just chip away at this one, just to you know, vary it up a little bit. Right, side of the storage, I was thinking there's going to be some German stuff mixed in with it all together, because I've just got these into a grey colour. It's very similar to the tyre grey as well that I used. Just need obviously all need weathering and that, but two of those, and of course the jerry cans as well, which I've done a few of these as well in the German grey. Obviously all need weathering. These have just got all the paint on them. The winch, not overly happy with the winch. I may strip the string off yet and use wire, because I've got a bit of cockle with it. As you can see, it's all bumpy, so I may just take all that off again and start again with that. We shall see. I'll see how much visibility is on it first, or when I put it onto the truck. Well, it's only a 5-minute job. Modified the wing mirror. We use some wire instead of a handle. Plastic handle, so I've got that. This is PE as well. The only part that's plastic is the attachment point that goes into the truck, so that's going to be painted yet. That's just in I just thought it'd be a bit, and probably easier to handle as well. It won't get knocked off, and if it does, it'll just bend instead of flinging off, hopefully. And we've got a bit of PE on the window screen as well, which is separate. I've got those parts on each side. That's PE, and on the reverse, window screen wipers, they're good enough for what I need. There is PE ones in there, but I think I'll just leave them on there as they are, because they're quite nice. I've got the exhaust done for the truck. That's all weathered up. Just needs dust, obviously, with muck coming up again from the floor. I've darkened the end of the exhaust and drilled it out a little bit, so I've got a bit of a depth in there. Again, I'm quite happy with that. It just needs dust, a bit of dust on there, because presumably in Italy, sort of early summer, springtime, it's going to be quite dry. And I've also added PE to the I didn't like the kit part with the roof fold. It just looked too clunky, so I did this way instead. Used the cables and added a bit of PE straps to those as well, if you can see them. There's PE straps on there as well, and underneath for the bracing. So they're all painted again, all need weathering. Right, so that's basically, I think, apart from the truck itself, is where we are with the truck. I'll bring the truck in. This is got its coat. So all this is loose. I'll just put it together so you can see it all as in one piece. So we've got the bed to do. Yeah, I'm going to make a wood colouring, and then we're going to chip that off with hairspray as well when I get round to that. So we'll take it apart first. We'll take the cab off first. See, I've just left the engine black because you're not going to see it for the purpose I want. Yeah, so we've got these colours down. I'm going to highlight coat, might darken it slightly. I've got the canvas roof finished as well. That's the kit part, but with 3-ply tissue on there, and just, you know, I highlighted the creases and one thing and another. In the back again, these are all PE on the back. This isn't fastened on at all yet, so I'm going to take that off. So, cab's done nothing inside there. I've got to put the dashboard in once that's done, and obviously got decals to go in there and the seats to go in there, and obviously it all needs painting in there as well. So on the front, a bit of PE on the grille on the front there. Headlights need to be put a little bit of silver in there, or chrome. No, again, it's quite a nice colour. I use the AK stuff, the real colours. This set here, I use the olive drab, which is RCO23 olive drab, number 9, number 22, and I'm going to use a highlight coat of olive drab faded as well on there, just to change it up a little bit. And I use the PE straps for the doors, things like that. Oh, that one where the driver is, and that one's down on its side. Obviously it needs painting. There's a few little bits of PE, this grill thing on top of there, that's PE. The little engine catches on the side, you can maybe take them out, that's clamps for the bonnet. Again, to make it went together no problem at all. I'll just put this bit back on here. Don't know where we are. There we go. Right, the bed. Again, it's just all been got its base coat on, and then again there's another strap which needs painting, and this bit of PE on the back of there. It's slipped slightly, so I'm gonna have to try and move it. I didn't use the PE parts that I got. I got a PE set for it, really cheap, but I left the mud guards as they are, where they use the foil, just as good. And there, so it's all primed underneath there. It'll be darkened up and whatever, and dusted and things. You're not going to see a lot of it. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to do a wood effect in there, and I can spray it with airspray and a little chip, just where barrels have come and catches. It's going to be quite rough looking in there, stuff off and on in there as well. So yeah, so that's that bit. Again, the frame, I've done nothing with the engine at all, so you're not going to see it, but I did these are parts of like PE brackets on here in front. Must be carrying some of that. I've got little straps in there which need painting up as well. The exhaust needs adding to this, obviously. Everything else is just a grey colour, as the olive drab at the moment. Nothing else has been done on that yet, no weathering, no nothing, so I'll just put that there. Right, we'll move on to the Tiger. I've got them both in the same at the same place really, the truck and the Tiger. Exhausts I've weathered, they're ready to go on. They're okay, quite happy with those. Even though the shroud's going to cover most of it, but still I know it's all been weathered underneath there, and a bit of black carbon at the top there, and a little few flecks of the paint that's kind of not completely come off the top. So I took obviously 2 of those. The engine shrouds, sorry, the exhaust shrouds, they're all damaged up, and whether these 2 are finished, obviously we need dull coating yet to protect them. That's one. These are all PE as well, and I added, I showed you, didn't I? I added the bolts to that because it would have been flat looking, and the other one's got a few bullet holes and bent out of shape and things like that. So that's just about finished, apart from using the I was going to say, doesn't matter. I know obviously you can see all the wheels, they've all been primed in the German yellow, which I used, let's put these away, there's no point in showing them, well, the wheels are wheel and the sprocket's a sprocket. I used the live colour set, which I think I showed you, not 100% if I did show you, but I used this out of this set here. This is a good set, and I've got their own primer. Yeah, it's a good set. It is a good set. Yeah, Dunkelgelb, that's the one I used. RAL 728. It's come out a nice colour. Then I'll probably still use the other 2 colours in here. Chocolate brown, is it? Or rotten brown. And the green is German Panzer Olive Grün, so I'll probably use those for the rest of the camouflage pattern when I get to do that. So I do like using light colour paints because they're thick, very high in pigment, and they do go quite stretch for quite a while even when you let them down with their primer and spray. They're ideal for spraying and painting, you know, figures, even by the figure sets and things like that. Right, so next on here we've got all the bits and bobs on here from the Tiger. These are all finished, you just need spraying to keep a a matte coat. So we've got the the turret cleaning rods. I made those myself out of copper pipe, shovel, axe in a cover, some sledgehammer, some more. I thought you were one of the cleaning rods there, sorry, because it came off. I've got the wire cutters, some more tools, the mount for the machine gun, even though the machine gun isn't on, and the sea shoes on there. We're going to tip it around. We've got the exhaust cast iron things on the bottom, and the lid for the commander's cupola. They're all weathered and done. Just need say a matte coat just to keep them from getting damaged, or paint or whatever. Right, so let's move all this off here and we'll get the Tiger out. We need a bigger room. We really do need a bigger room. Right, let's just move this out of here. Oh, sorry, I haven't showed you these bits, sorry, before we go any further. Yeah, I showed you the seats in that from the last time. They've got painted up and ready to go. I just need to highlight those up again. These are made up myself from the copper wire. I changed the cable because it was a bit thin, but we've got the, may not use both yet. I can't really see if there's two on there or not, but we've got the two of those on now. They're all weathered and ready to go. So there's two of those. I'll just bring them down here anyhow, you can see. So we've got two of those. Didn't make a new one on this because it worked out quite well. I got it cleaned up really nicely, and it looks decent quality for the track rods, cable. Again, that's all weathered up again. All that's done. Just needs to go on it, and no me, I've done this all weathered nicely, and this is the side that it's going to line that you won't see. So, you know, wasted my time there, but you know, if I don't have to put it on, I can keep it for another Tiger, because I'm sure I'll build another Tiger at some point. Right, these are the weather clasps for the top of the tracks on the turret. They're all weathered, and the light. We can see it. There we are. I'll do it that way maybe. See the light there, which is all weathered up and got the chrome inside there because the glass is broken. Done nothing with these. These are the periscopes. These are PE ones for some strange reason. So I've got a clear colour which I'm going to use on there, and these are just the idlers which I haven't done anything with. I've kept them off until I get the tracks done, and then I can adjust them so they can be weathered near enough and as we're going along. Right, so let's pop those there, and then we'll get to the build of a Tiger. Do need a bigger room. Well, before we go any further, I've been a good friend of the channel from Kenneth from down south. He was a Scotchman. He sent me this quite a few weeks ago, and it's a Osprey modelling on the Tiger, and it's coming really useful. Thanks Kenneth, I really have. It's coming, you know, all these people that professionally build kits and all the scratch building they do, it's amazing, it really is. I'll make all that intricate stuff. I know this is 1/16 scale, but it's still impressive. But it's really good. It gives you good close-up pictures and sort of explanations of how to do things. So it's coming really useful. It really has. Good book. Good book. Right, Tiger time. Let's take this off here. Put this down on the floor. Right, off I'm going to the Tiger. Part of a diorama. I've made these bushes. These are from Seafoam, and I've sprayed them all sorts of different colours, and then we got the I think it's knock coloured leaves. I've used them and I've sprayed them a bit just to change the colour. I'm going to do a little bit more because they're a bit yellow yet, but different ones there. This is out of the garden, this one here. That is as well. That's out of the garden. And my son, they use a lot of what's it called? Oh, I can't remember the name of the plant. It's ideal for like camouflage and tanks and things like that. I can't remember what it's called now. Bridal wreath, no, something like that. I've got piled in there drying out, so I've got hundreds, ultimate supply of that. So if anybody wants some, give us a shout and I'll send you some. And the same again, I've just made these loose because obviously this thing's going to be loose where the tank's gone through them, and these again I just made again using the C-foam, broke them up and just done the same method. Sprayed them the branches and then added the green foliage again. That's all just going to be on along with all the shrubbery on the side of the road. Right, tiger. We'll go from it. I'm going to do the turret first, which we've got primed. This isn't in fastened yet. I should really do it in, I suppose. I need to counterweight that gun as well because it's a bit, mind you saying that it is actually pointing down, so I may not need to. But that's the colour on the life colour paints. It's come out quite well. Got a good base there for the camouflage. Again, the texture's come up quite well on there. I can just make out the texture that I did, just to hide, you know, where I'd strip things off. Again, obviously we've got chipped Zimmerit as well on there. This will be all concrete colour because it hasn't gone right through, but some of them won't be concrete, but most of them will be concrete colour, especially on the lower hull. Again, we've got that on the side there with all those markings that's left from the Zimmerit, like a pattern still there along there. So that's the turret. And then we have the lower hull. Again, this is the same colour paint, obviously. I've got the two hatches inside the tank, so they're clunking about, so that's just a prime base colour of Dunkel Gelb as well. Come out quite well, nice thin coat, so you can still see the black underneath, or the black with greys. And again, I've just sort of lightly done under there because that's going to get darkened up with pigments and things like that, I presume. And obviously there's no side skirts on this side because this is the side that's going to be on the floor, you know, at the angle, so you're not going to see them. So what I've done, I've made them. I should have showed you them, shouldn't I? I've made them up and bent them. They've got to be weathered, yeah, so they're going to be sort of twisted wreckage round by the side of it when it's being pushed off the road by a bulldozer, I presume, or something, or another tank. So these will be all twisted and laying on the sides of the side of it, the Tiger. And again, we've got the markings again on the Zimmerit on the front there again, and on the little, these are the parts that I can see from the photograph I've got. Obviously this is workable still. I've got the headlight to go on because I've knocked it off, so I decided to take it off and leave it off for now. You've seen all the PE clamps on there. I've added some of the PE clamps as well, other ones I need to spray yet, and then I can add them to the tools as I'm putting them on. Again, we've had to do underneath because it's the main part of the tank you're going to see, so I need to, that's going to be weathered nicely as well. Which is going to be a bit different than normal because you don't usually see the bottom of the vehicle, but this time you are going to. And say these are all still workable, if you've seen. As you can see, I haven't got underneath all them, which I should have done, so I'll have to go back and do that. But yeah, that's happy with that. What else have we got? I found these, so I may use these. I've coloured them up. I may be able to use these instead of the PE brass ones because sorry, copper, whatever they are. You're not going to see them because the turret's going to be closed up, so I may use these if I can get them to fit. In fact, I think I did get them to fit on the, and all these are smaller. Where is it at? Where's it gone? Oop. Come on. Don't want to play. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I did. I've got one to fit in one of the driver's hatches. So we'll see how we go. I'll get the other one in there on the other side. Even if I don't get one of the other ones, I'll try and have a look around, see if I've got any other bits spare that I can probably use. So I'll put that there. So that's basically where we are. Oh, there's a couple of bits here, sorry, as well. We've weathered up the jack. That's done. The jack's done there, Scotch. Again, this needs finishing, but it's 99% there really. Well, that's the jack. There's a few tools in here. There's the crowbar type thing. There's that's all finished off. That's weathered as well. This needs, again, all needs matte coat, but we'll be all done when it's on the vehicle. And we've got the built up jack block. That's all weathered as well. That just needs finishing off as well. I'm going on the vehicle near towards the end. And there's a couple of bits of tools again in here. I hollowed out the clasps on there. You can see them. Make them a bit more clasp looking, and just scrape them very, very finely with a really sharp knife just to thin them down a bit as well. So we've got that done as well. So that's everything done where we are at the moment with the Tiger and the truck for the Dio. So I haven't had a lot of time in the last sort of 4 weeks at the bench. Obviously with my son getting married and other bits and bobs and being away. But now today is I've got a good few hours at the bench today, so I'm looking forward to cracking on a bit today. I think I might even just sort of carry on weathering the stowage for the truck, and then once I've done that I can leave all that to the side and go back to the Tiger with the starting with the camo pattern on there, and then I can do the highlights on the truck, and then we can sort of get that weathered up, and then we can start thinking about the Dio itself. And I've got it all positioned. I've obviously, with the kits being made, I've positioned them on there and it fit really quite nicely. And the figure I've had to butcher a little bit. There's two figures. Obviously you've got the driver and the guy who's sort of lying towards having a fag underneath. So I've got a hornet head. It looks just slightly too big for his body. You know, he's got a big head, and sort of worked his legs a little bit there, so in the position he's standing in, and trying to get his hands in his pockets, but I couldn't quite manage that. So he's got a cigarette to come out of his mouth when he's sort of slumping against the side of a tank, sorry, underneath of the tank. So that's just had the German grey and the ghost grey for the highlighting, and again with the headless figure, the driver, the same thing again. I've got another hornet head for him, so that's not a problem, which I might just dig out after that and put that on. So yeah, everything's coming together. It's slowly coming together. Like, you know, I've never built a diorama when I've actually built two kits. I've never had two kits on a bench at once, so I find it a bit strange. But yeah, I'm enjoying the build. I really am. And so tracks again. One of them's going to be off. The track has been taken off, so that'll be all weathered and that as well. And still going to use it, because the track's got to be somewhere around it when it's being pushed off, you will presume. And then the other side of the track will be put on. That's why I did the suspension, so it can workable, so it can drag the suspension down. So yeah, I think that's where I am. I think that's all where we are at the moment. So things are moving along nicely. It just takes a little bit of time, as you all know. I don't work fast, I just sort of go at a steady pace and work away. So I'm happy. Right, so as I say, thank you very much again for all your kind comments, and for sticking with me. So I haven't, like I said in the beginning of the video, I haven't done a video in about 3 or 4 weeks, which is probably about right for me, because I don't tend to, like I say, I don't tend to do a lot in. I don't like to put a video out unless I've got enough to show, if you know what I mean. So, but you'll be watching I might have 3 videos out in the next 24 hours. This one and 2 unboxings. So stay tuned for those. So again, thank you very much to all my subscribers, new and old, and welcome aboard to anybody that's new. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy the channel, and this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very, very soon.